Have you ever stopped to wonder why the people who raised you, guided you, and once seemed unshakable now behave in ways that confuse or even irritate you? Perhaps your father insists on saving empty margarine tubs because they might come in handy someday. Maybe your mother tells the same childhood story every time you visit. Or your grandfather has grown startlingly blunt, voicing opinions that make everyone at the table squirm. These behaviors aren't signs of decline or simple stubbornness, even though they can feel that way at first. They're reflections of the emotional and physical realities of aging, shaped by a lifetime of experiences, shifting priorities, and the unavoidable truth of growing older in a world that never slows down. Today, we're looking at 12 common habits many seniors develop, and not to criticize them, but to understand the reasons behind them, so you can respond with empathy instead of frustration. Let's begin with something nearly every family recognizes: the repeated story. Your loved one launches into a tale you've heard countless times, complete with familiar details, the same pauses, and the same ending. You might glance at your watch or exchange knowing looks with a sibling, but beneath the surface, something meaningful is happening. These stories aren't random memories. They're carefully held moments that define who this person is. That fishing trip your father mentions again and again may symbolize a time when he felt capable, alive, and deeply connected. That recipe your grandmother always talks about ties her to her own mother and to traditions that stretch across generations, back to a time when she felt most like herself. As people age, the past often becomes clearer while recent events fade. This repetition usually isn't about memory loss, at least not at first. It's about preserving identity, keeping important experiences alive, and sharing moments that shaped them, hoping someone truly understands their meaning. When your father tells that fishing story again, he's really saying, "This mattered. I mattered. Remember me this way." The repetition offers comfort and continuity, linking who they were to who they are now. The next time that familiar story begins, try responding with renewed interest. Ask a question you've never asked before. Show genuine curiosity. You may uncover details you never noticed, and more importantly, you affirm the person sharing it. Another habit that often stands out is the constant focus on aches and pains. Spend time around seniors, and you'll hear it everywhere: the knee that won't cooperate, the back that flared up, the medication that no longer helps the way it used to. To younger people, it can sound like endless complaining. But for seniors, this is often their first experience living in a body that hurts regularly and requires constant attention. Talking about pain helps them process a major shift in daily life. Pain becomes a steady companion, sometimes the most persistent presence they have. Discussing it validates their experience, builds connection with others who understand, opens the door to shared advice, and sometimes simply offers relief in naming what they're enduring. Old injuries resurface, decades of wear finally make themselves known, and the body begins to feel unfamiliar. When seniors talk about their discomfort, they're learning how to live in this new reality. Instead of dismissing these conversations as negativity, try hearing them as honest reflections of a difficult adjustment. Often, they just need someone to listen without minimizing what they're going through. Then there's the habit that drives many families crazy: saving everything. Drawers filled with rubber bands, neatly folded plastic bags, stacked margarine containers, twist ties sorted by size. To younger eyes, it looks like clutter. To seniors, each item represents preparedness and self-reliance. Many lived through or heard firsthand about times when resources were scarce and nothing was wasted. That mindset doesn't vanish simply because store shelves are now full. Saving things brings comfort and a sense of control in a world that often feels unpredictable. There's also practicality. Many seniors live on fixed incomes, and saving usable items feels economical, not irrational. Problems arise only when saving becomes unsafe or overwhelming. If this habit needs addressing, approach it with respect. Acknowledge the wisdom behind not wasting, help organize instead of discarding everything, and aim for a balance that honors their need for preparedness while ensuring safety. Another noticeable change is the loss of verbal filters. The once gentle grandmother now critiques haircuts without hesitation. The formerly diplomatic grandfather bluntly voices opinions that make gatherings tense. This shift can be jarring, but it often stems from both biology and psychology. Aging brains may struggle more with impulse control, making it harder to stop thoughts before they're spoken. At the same time, many seniors simply feel done with decades of careful politeness. They've spent a lifetime accommodating others, and now they want to speak freely. Sometimes this honesty delivers sharp wisdom or refreshing humor. Other times, it crosses lines and causes hurt. The intent is rarely malicious. While boundaries are still important, responding with understanding helps maintain connection. Balance respect for their honesty with gentle reminders when words become harmful. Many families also notice seniors eating the same meals day after day. Familiar breakfasts, repeated dinners, no interest in new restaurants. This routine offers comfort and simplicity. Familiar foods require less planning and energy, which matters when stamina and cognition decline. Taste and smell changes make experimentation less rewarding, and cooking for one often feels pointless. While this routine can risk nutritional gaps, forcing change rarely works. Instead, consider small additions within familiar patterns, and remember that emotional comfort sometimes matters as much as nutritional perfection. Changes in grooming can also cause concern. Seniors who once cared deeply about appearance may now prioritize comfort, wearing the same clothes or skipping grooming routines. Often, this reflects physical challenges like arthritis, balance issues, or vision problems that make grooming difficult or even dangerous. In other cases, it reflects a conscious shift away from appearances after decades of meeting expectations. The key is understanding whether this change signals physical difficulty, emotional withdrawal, or simple reprioritization. Support dignity and comfort rather than enforcing old standards. Another common shift is decreased patience. Chronic pain, fatigue, mobility challenges, and cognitive strain all drain emotional reserves. Seniors also become acutely aware that time is limited and less willing to tolerate inefficiency or trivial concerns. While this doesn't excuse unkindness, it helps explain the irritability. When possible, reduce known stresses and try not to take sharp moments personally. Social withdrawal is particularly concerning. Invitations are declined, outings avoided, and once social individuals retreat into isolation. This can stem from grief, mobility limitations, sensory loss, financial worries, or sheer exhaustion. Isolation carries serious health risks, so addressing it requires understanding its root causes. Smaller gatherings, home visits, transportation help, or addressing hearing and vision issues can make a big difference. Always begin with curiosity, not judgment. Many seniors also spend increasing time focused on the past. Reminiscing helps them find meaning, maintain identity, and cope with loss. But when dwelling turns into rumination, especially around regrets, it can overshadow the present. Honor their memories while gently encouraging engagement with current experiences and creating new ones together. Financial anxiety is another deeply ingrained habit. Even financially secure seniors may obsess over spending, fearing future uncertainty, health costs, or becoming a burden. This anxiety often traces back to real hardship earlier in life. While caution is understandable, extreme frugality can rob them of comfort and joy. Validation, clear financial planning, and gentle encouragement to enjoy their resources can help ease this fear. Becoming set in their ways is another familiar pattern. Routines, brand loyalty, and resistance to new methods offer stability and control. Many preferences are the result of decades of refinement and hard-earned knowledge. While flexibility is important when health or safety is involved, many routines are harmless and even beneficial. Choose your battles wisely. Finally, perhaps the most troubling habit is neglecting their own needs. Lifelong caregivers often struggle to prioritize themselves, minimizing symptoms and avoiding help. Admitting vulnerability can feel like failure. This pattern calls for patience, reassurance, and consistent encouragement that caring for themselves is not weakness but wisdom. Take a moment to think about one senior in your life and one habit they've developed. Instead of judging it, consider what need it fulfills or what comfort it provides. Then think about how you might respond next time with greater understanding. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know which habit resonated most with you or how you've learned to navigate these changes with compassion. Subscribe for more honest conversations about aging, health, and relationships. Understanding each other across generations makes all the difference.